Hello everybody, welcome back to my networking project. I'm trapped in a box, but you can call me Mark. You may notice things are a little different this week. I'm trying out a new method that should be quicker in the future. I have final this week, so this video is a bit late, but I promise I'll be back on schedule next week. This week we're looking at the popular comment from last week, Yogscast Martyn, also known as In the Littlewood. 1/3 of the Dream Team livestream and the friendliest YouTuber you'll ever meet. Martyn is famous for his huge amount of fan mail and his playthroughs of games such as Ni no Kuni and Zelda. Now, I'm never exactly sure what to expect when I start collecting the data of these YouTubers, but I sure didn't expect what I got with Martyn. In the past 4 years, Martyn has had by far the greatest number of collaborators of any channel I've looked at yet, of any of the 8. With a total of 74 different collaborators. It was insane. I'm used to numbers in the 20s or 30s each year, but in 1 year, Martyn had 42. That's incredible. Okay, here we are in 2011. Martyn starts out normally enough with only 8 collaborators, which is fairly average. It's actually the same number as the main Yogscast channel, who's up till now the greatest collaborator. Martyn actually has multiple channels, each with a different purpose, but I only looked at this one, Yogscast Martyn, for the purpose of this video. It was actually pretty difficult because Martyn often didn't put the names of the people he was playing with in the video descriptions, in the under the video, so I had to watch the videos and guess who they were. On more than one occasion, I had to Google a guest because the name they were referred to in the video and their channel name were different. Let's move on to 2012 when things really exploded for Martyn. In 2011, Martyn began his association with Yogscast, but they don't really appear in his videos until 2012, and even then, mostly as livestream highlights, and barely even breach the top 5 collaborators. Now, some of you may point out Toby when I say this and say, hey, Mark, you're an ignorant tool. Toby is in the Yogscast. Well, at this time, Toby was only a friend of Martyn's, and it was actually Martyn who brought Toby into the Yogscast. Also, Toby didn't officially join the Yogscast until he turned 18, last year, in 2014. Sorry this graph is so small, by the way, but as you can see, Martyn really got around in 2012. 42 collaborations, and only 8 of those were one-night stands. It'll be fun seeing this in an overall graph. Let's go on to 2013, where Martyn cooled off and settled down a bit as a Yog. In 2013, Martyn had a slightly more reasonable 38 collaborators, but the graph still looks pretty dang cramped. I really enjoyed seeing a number of channels that I'd never heard of before while collecting this data. I realized I rarely see Martyn around with the other Yogs like Sips, Jin, and the main channel, even though they all work in the main office of Yog Towers in Bristol together. Seems like Martyn has kept his independence and exists almost as a separate branch of the Yogs. I'm sure that when we get to more channels, we'll find those like Martyn are actually pretty common. I know that BebopVox, for example, has his own little realm, but Martyn is the first example I've seen on this. Anyway, on to 2014. Last year, Martyn really cooled off, with a total of 29 collaborators, but only 4 of them were one-off appearances, so, he bulked out. Like I said, Martyn definitely has his regulars, despite having such a great number of guests. Toby appears in all 4 years, and Smaps, Nerdcubed, and Dave Chaos are 3 of those who appear in 3 years of the channel. If we go to the graph of all 4 years, we'll be able to see who is the most popular as well. Spoilers, it's Toby. Oh man, look at this crowd. Martyn has done even better than Sjin at reaching out into the world of YouTubers and finding collaborators. His guests include the likes of members of the Yogscast, members of other YouTube groups, Americans and British and more, and even PewDiePie, who I'm not sure where he fits in. So, that's Martyn's channel in 4 minutes or so. Let me know what you guys think of the new style I'm trying out. I'm trying to make these videos shorter, trying to make them easier to edit as well. I'm using a program I can use at home so I don't have to travel to the computer lab every week to edit. I had a video last week which was missing sound for the first 40 seconds and there was nothing I could do about it from here, so this is me trying to remedy that. Tomorrow I'll be adding Martyn to the ever-growing network that I have, and I will see you guys then.